Hello, welcome to the Climbing Consciousness. Who is your authentic self? What is the authentic self? The authentic self is something that is hard to describe in words. It's hard for me to tell somebody who my authentic self is. If somebody asked me, okay, who is your authentic self? My response would not be something like, it's funny and charming, and I don't think I could pick words to describe what it means. The authentic self, the true self, you at your core, it's more something that you just feel when you are being that. When you are being your authentic self, you feel it. And that's really the only way to describe it. You feel when you are being your authentic self. You feel uninhibited. You feel like you're truly in your light. Like what you say and what you do is exactly as it should be, and other people tend to move around you. And you don't have to question what you're doing. You don't have to worry about what people are thinking about you or what people are expecting you to do. That kind of vanishes. When you are really living as your authentic self, those surface level reactions to people vanish. And all that's left is you in your true light. And this is when great things really happen for people. So that being said, why doesn't everybody just live as their authentic self? It sounds very easy. That's a good question. And I think a lot of it has to do with social conditioning. As you see a lot of children, it's very easy for them, young children, to live in their light, uninhibited and free and doing as they will without any expectation or fear of what others are thinking. I think as we grow up, you get conditioned to different things, and we start to associate different actions with being good or bad, and if doing this leads to a positive feeling from other people, doing this leads to a negative feeling from teachers or parents, these kind of values are liked, these kind of values are not liked, and everybody, every single person is affected by this. Everybody usually tends to try to exhibit the traits that are more valued in their society and hide the traits that are less valued in their society. Thus, over the years, you kind of construct yourself as opposed to simply being yourself. The problem with this is when you are living your own construction of what you know, of what you think is acceptable, all it is a construction. And any construction can easily be torn apart and broken. What can't be broken is the authentic self. And a lot of times we're afraid of having our construction broken down, because then the only thing that is left is our true self. The one that we are afraid to show. because it has all of our true traits. It has all of the traits, even the ones that are demonized by your particular society, which is why it's not that easy to be your authentic self. So, how can we learn how to live from our authentic self, from our true self? It has a lot to do with diving deep. There's different levels of consciousness as a human being, and there's a surface level of consciousness, and there's deeper levels of consciousness. Living in life is a lot like living in the ocean. If we can equate life, consciousness, to the water of the ocean, if you're living life in the ocean, you can live at the surface, right near the surface, and then you can also dive deeper into the ocean and uncover things that are scarier and harder to find. And a lot of times it takes a lot of overcoming fear to dive deeper into the ocean. I think to learn how to live from your authentic self requires you to have the courage to dive deeper within yourself. By diving deeper within yourself, coming down from the surface, coming down from the surface chatter, the normal talk that most of us are used to, and taking 10 or 15 seconds to just let the inner voice speak. Practicing that makes it a lot easier to find your authentic self. And it's very worth it to find it, because living from the authentic self will find a lot more natural success and joy than living from your construction that you think people like. Because even if you're successful like that, you won't be successful down the road.